Oh, hello there. Sorry, you caught me at a bad time. I was drawing, so I'm gonna draw for a little while, but I'll come back to you. Welcome to math class. Sorry for the delay. Now we can start to learn math, but allow me to erase my picture here a second. Today, the math class is going to be fairly simple because all we're learning about is multiplying fractions, which, although multiplication may be a more difficult operation than addition with normal numbers, it's actually an easier problem than addition or subtraction with fractions. It is easier to do with fractions than addition or subtraction is. And so first of all, I'm going to talk to you about the method of multiplying fractions, the steps that you have to take, and then we'll work through some examples together. Now, starting with multiplication, we're going to go through I think about two steps to work out a multiplication problem. The first step is simply multiplying. You are going to multiply numbers. And the question is, what numbers are you going to multiply? In a multiplication problem with fractions, the top multiplies the top, and the bottom multiplies the bottom. Since you guys want your lines nice and visible, make them nice and visible. There you go. Are you happy? I hope so. So you multiply 6 and 2, which is going to give you 12. And you multiply 7 by 3, which will give you 21. So this problem is 6/7 times 2/3, and it equals 12/21. It's a fairly simple method that will work with every single fraction that you want to multiply. The second step with multiplying fractions is the simplifying step. This is also a step for addition and subtraction with fractions. So once you multiply two fractions and you get an answer, in our last problem we had 12/21. We can simplify that. And so I'll use our magical change arrow. Magic. And we will divide it by 3 to give us the fraction 4/7. So, in conclusion, simplifying 12/21, you divide by 3 and you get 4/7. You successfully multiplied a fraction. Now here we have a problem which is a multiplication of fractions, but you just can't see it yet. I will show you how to see it. 1 1/3 is a fraction. This is not the way to write it in a fraction form though. 1 1/3 can be written with a 3 on the bottom because the denominator is 3, but there is more than 1/3 in this. It's 1 1/3. A 1 means 3/3. 3/3 is 1. So we have 3/3 here and then 1/3 here. So in total, we have 4/3. 4/3, which is this fraction, times 5 is the same as doing 4/3 times 5/1. Because 5 divided by 1 is simply 5. So anytime you have a whole number and you want it in a fraction form, you just put a 1 underneath it. 4/3 times 5/1. Multiply the tops, multiply the bottoms, and you get 20/3. Can you simplify it? No, 20/3 is your final fraction. That is your answer for 1 1/3 times 5. Now we're going to talk about dividing fractions, which is the same as multiplying fractions, but you have to do a trick at the beginning. And that trick is you have to find the reciprocal of the second number. The reciprocal means you flip the second number. The bottom goes to the top goes to the bottom. So 2 goes on top, 3 goes on bottom, or 2 goes on bottom, 3 goes on top. And you change the sign so that it's a times problem, like we were doing before. So now we have 1/3 times 3/2. This is the exact same problem as 1/3 divided by 2/3, what we had originally. Multiplying this, you will get 3 over 6. That can be simplified into 1/2. So your solution to the first problem, which was 1/3 divided by 2/3, now changed to 1/3 times 3/2, is 1/2. So to review, if you're dividing two fractions, you make into a multiplication problem. You change them into a multiplication problem. But if you're working with multiplying two fractions, first you multiply the tops, figure out what that is. Then you multiply the bottoms, put that on bottom. Then you simplify the new fraction. And that is your lesson for today.